गुरुभ्यो नमः। पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सत्यधर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे। विद्यापीठविधातारं विद्यावारिधिचन्दिरं विद्यार्थिवत्सलं वन्दे महामहिमसद्गुरुं। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। Today I am going to give my toughest exam. I am very tensed. The first thing I get in my mind is what, I sit before Raghavendra Swamiji and pray that my exam goes on well. Not just myself, even a small kid does the same thing. Shri Raghavendraya Namaha. This is the magical spell everyone chants to get their work accomplished. The work may be of any sort, be it a company deal, setting a startup business, building a home, a long-term travel, or even small minute things even. Not just us, not just Madhvas, everyone has experienced Rayar Anugraha at least once in their lifetime. Today, temple means Raghavendra Swami Mat, TIT means Rayaru. Before knowing about Raghavendra Swamiji, first let us know about his Moola Rupa. According to legends, it is said that Rayaru is the incarnation of Shankukarna, a Karmaja Devate. He was cursed by Lord Brahma to be born on earth for being careless in flower delivery. Shankukarna had many births: Prahlada Raja in Trita Yuga, Bahlika Raja in Dwapar Yuga, Vyasa Raja and Raghavendra Swamiji in Kali Yuga. Born to Timmannacharya and Gopikamba, Raghavendra Swamiji was very brilliant since childhood itself. Guru Raja and Venkatamba were his elder siblings. He was born by the grace of Lord Venkateshwara. Hence he got the name Venkatanatha in his Purvashrama. Venkatanatha was a child prodigy. His brilliance was visible since his childhood itself. He always used to question his father about wide subjects. Once, during his Aksharabhyasa, he questioned his father how a small word Om can capture infinite greatness of God. His father was literally dumbstruck at his child's intelligence. However, Timmannacharya passed away very soon. His elder brother Guru Raja took the entire responsibility of his family. He got his sister Venkatamba married to Lakshmi Narasimhacharya and Venkatanatha to Saraswati Bai. Venkatanatha completed his initial education under his brother-in-law. He studied Dvaita Vedanta, advanced works on grammar and other shastras under Sri Sudhindra Tirtharu. He used to stay awake till late night and write notes on the lessons learnt in the day. Once, he participated in a debate conducted on grammatical skills, what we call as Vyakarna Shastra. His profound knowledge surprised everyone. He got the name Mahabhashyacharya in his Purvashrama itself. Venkatanatha was a skilled musician. He was an expert in Veena. People at that time used to call him Veena Venkana Bhatta. Soon, Venkatanatha and Saraswati Bai were blessed with a son Lakshmi Narayana. Venkatanatha took a resolution, a Parigraha Vrata. He never asked for money or any needs. He just accepted what was offered to him as bhiksha. This is what we call Vairagya. Vairagya means having control over materialistic pleasures. We get to know two types of Vairagya: Bhava Vairagya, Abhava Vairagya. Abhava Vairagya meaning detachment due to lack of interest and availability. But Bhava Vairagya means a state of desirelessness, manifesting ourselves from having realized completion and contentment wholesomely. Suppose a person, if he leaves behind everything, then it is Abhava Vairagya. But Venkatanatha, he was leading a completed life. He was born in a prosperous family. brimming with wealth, good luck, grandeur, enchanting beauty, magnificence in every skill. But he left behind everything and stood strict to his oath. He showed non-negotiable devotion to Lord. This is what we call Bhava Vairagya. With all these hardships in life, he continued his self-study and stood determined, whatever came to him, unsought and unasked. He never degraded any person, even if people badmouthed him. Once in a function, the host asked Venkatnatha to grind sandalwood, what we call as gandha, to offer to the guests. The host's main intention was to degrade Venkatanatha. As usual, Venkatanatha grinded it by chanting Agni Sukta. When the guests applied it, it immediately started burning. Then the host understood his mistake. He realized that recitation of Agni Sukta invoked Lord Agni, and Lord Agni embarked his presence in the paste. Later, Venkatanatha grinded it by chanting Varuna Sukta. Slowly the burning subsided. Not this, many instances one by one occurred, making him a divine entity. Here on the other side, Sudhinda Tirtha Swamiji was on the search for the successor to his Pitha, to the great Pitha. The more he heard about Venkatanatha, the greater was his conviction that he should be the one. Venkatanatha initially took back step, keeping in mind his responsibilities towards his family. But later, when Lord Vidyadevi appeared in his dream, he realized his true purpose of birth. He convinced his wife and soon performed Upanayana, what we call as thread ceremony, to his son Lakshmi Narayana. And Venkatanatha ordained to sannyasa by Sri Sudhinda Tirtharu and got the name Sri Raghavendra Tirtharu. The agenda of Raghavendra Tirtharu was quite simple. Just spreading the message of Srimad Ananda Tirtharu along with propagating the Dvaita Siddhanta. His sannyasa life was phenomenal. He led an incredible life, gaining victory over many Advaiti Pandits across India. Any problem was miraculously solved. Raghavendra Swamiji was a Siddha Purusha. He showed innumerable miracles during his life period, which all are definitely a lesson for the society, for the past, present and future too. He blessed thousands of people suffering from some or other issues, irrespective of their matha, religion, caste, creed, region and whatever the political barriers to. Thus, he became the universal guru and people from all fields started following him wherever he go. Today, on his Aradhana, let us chant Sri Raghavendraya Namaha at least 108 times and follow the path led by him and please the Lord to achieve salvation. Shri Krishnarpanamastu.